Jonathan Jones, how are we doing today?
How's it going? Doing well, you?
Doing well. It's good to be talking with you here. Why don't you walk us through Jonathan Jones, grizzled NFL veteran? How do you sort of set up your time around the bye week? How did it go for you this year?
Just a lot of family. Spending time with the family, being out there, getting away for a minute. That's always key. Is just to find the time to get away, get your mind reset. It was a late bye week, so we had a lot of football playing, and so it's just a little bit of time of getting away.
When you have a late bye week, can it sometimes be tough to re-engage and get back into the swing of things? Football activities. You only got 4 games left. Is that a danger of having a late bye week?
No, I think just injuries. It's a long grind until you get to that bye week, and when you finally get there, you're exhausted, and so just get a moment to get away, catch your breath, and then just finish out the season strong. Have a 4 more games, a good chance to finish out the season strong.
Coach Mayo was on our station this morning with the Greg Hill Show, and he said the first order of business post-bye was to improve in turnovers. Offense, turn it over less. Defense, create more. As a defense, how disappointed are you in what you guys have been accomplishing in terms of turnovers, and how do you increase the number of takeaways?
Yeah, I think, it's been frustrating. I think a big thing is just making plays on the ball, making an emphasis to go after the ball, forced fumbles, interceptions, just making it an emphasis. And then also it's just as a team, when you can get ahead in games and force teams to have to drop back pass and make plays, you put a little bit more pressure on them. So, starting faster as a defense as an offense and getting ahead, it makes getting turnovers a lot easier.
We're talking with Jonathan Jones, defensive back for the Patriots. Jonathan, in the Colts game, you saw your snaps get cut down a little bit. Have you talked to Coach Mayo or anybody else about your usage going forward and if you anticipate being used less like you were in the Colts game?
Oh, no. I just show up, every week, work, be ready for the game plan, and, however the game goes, it goes. I'm just always making sure that I'm available, and game plan and playing time, I leave that up to the coaches. My job is to be ready to play.
Do you get an indication of that? I mean, I know different things can unfold over the course of the game, but when you see the game plan on a Wednesday, does that give you an idea, okay, what I'm involved in, what I'm less involved in? How is this different from previous weeks? Do you have an idea going at that point?
Some weeks, I think sometimes if I'm, playing a different position, like a few weeks ago playing safety or different things, you kind of get an indication of, what the game's going to be. And then sometimes it's within games or, injury may happen at a position and you have to make changes. So just being as prepared as you can.
With that in mind, you are a pending free agent, and you are going to be potentially hitting the market here. In a bye week, is that a time maybe to get together with your representatives and talk about the future? Is that something that you did at all in these in this past week?
Oh, no, not at all. I got away from football completely outside of yesterday just being a fan. They got 4 more games left, and so just here to finish out, my 4 games in the offseason. The free agents comes, I deal with that then. But right now, I'm just focused on putting my all into these next 4 games.
Do you want to stay in New England?
I would love to. It's rare for a guy to be, to play his entire career, especially like I said, being undrafted, being here my entire career. I feel, indebted to being here. So I love the fan base. I love the team. And so it'd be awesome to be a guy that, goes his entire career at the same place.
You mentioned watching some football yesterday. What's that like for you? How do you watch football? Are you focused on the cornerback position? Or you got a big bowl of nachos in front of you? Are you on red zone? How do you watch football?
A little bit of red zone. Try to ignore the commentators as much as possible and just watch the game. But that's about it. Just hanging out and watching the game and enjoying it from a fan perspective.
Do you always watch it from a defensive perspective? Because a lot of times these color commentators, if they're an ex-quarterback, it seems like they're biased towards the offense. Are you always biased towards the defense when you watch games?
A little bit. I try to help us out, man. The game's geared towards offense, and I know how difficult it is to play defense, in this league. And just go out, see guys compete, and see adversity, see how guys bounce back, and just getting to watch it from that perspective is always fun to do.
Guys in their career historically, Jonathan, I'm not saying you're going to do this, but I guess the question is, you've seen corners later on in their career convert to safety. You've played safety a bit this year. Is that something you've given any thought to as you take the next step in your career? Is that is a position change maybe something you'd consider?
Yeah, right now, I mean, I'm still fast and still strong. So I think most guys, once they start to lose the steps, it's a good transition for them where they can use their self mentally. But right now, I'm still, still in shape, still in good shape, and still enjoy playing corner.
What was your reaction when you saw the news that Bill Belichick has had multiple interviews with the University of North Carolina for their open head coaching job?
I mean, that's different, but I know his heart's in coaching. And so whatever opportunity he gets to coach, I know he loves football. And so just to see him get an opportunity still to coach.
All right, well, we'll leave it right there then, unless you got something else.
Well, I was just going to ask you, do you think he'd be a good college coach? I mean, we saw Nick Saban retire. We saw Chip Kelly give up, the UCLA job to just become a coordinator again. There's a lot that goes on now with NILs and portals and things of that nature. Do you think Bill could acclimate to that quickly enough to have success?
It's a different landscape, I would say, but it's much more like the NFL now than it was in the past. It's basically free agency and negotiating contracts. It's become a miniature NFL, and so from that aspect, I think he'd do fine.
Are you bummed out that you missed out on all that NIL stuff? I mean, you got to be looking at some of these kids driving these nice cars around campus thinking, man, that could have been me, right?
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't envious, man. But no, they're getting an opportunity, like I said, to change their family's life at a younger age and make some money while they're in college. And it's guys have paved the way for so long to see those guys to be where they're at now. And I'm glad to see guys taking advantage of it.
Speaking of envious, did you ever play baseball? I'm sure you saw that Juan Soto got $765 million.
Yeah. No, but I'm wondering, is it too late for me to pick up a bat? Second career after football. See how that goes. But golly, I saw that. That was crazy.
Jonathan Jones, good luck this weekend against Arizona. Thanks for the time. We'll talk to you again next Monday.
Thank you, guys. See you next week.
All right, that is Jonathan Jones, defensive back, New England Patriots, joining us here on WEEI Afternoons.